this woman, Linda Saminsky, came to speak at my school, worked at Cartoon Network, but we hit it off pretty well. And she was a mentor on my senior project, and we stayed in touch. And Cartoon Network Studios was opening right the same year I was graduating. So through, keeping my contacts with her and stuff, I lucked myself into my first animation job, which was a PA on Samurai Jack. It was like Genndy Tartakovsky, right? Like that whole team, they were old Ren and Stimpy people, and they've all gone on to, people working at Pixar and directing features. It was like the best of the best. And I learned a ton working there, but I think, I thought I was going to be a storyboard artist, or at my school, I thought I was just going to do everything. They didn't teach you like, oh, there's a person who does this specific task, and that, like, a designer and the board artist and the background artist. Like, that wasn't a thing. It was just, you did everything. And as I got into it, I thought I was going to maybe do some boarding. But eventually, there was another artist there who had a show in development at Warner Brothers, who we were talking about it a lot at lunch. And he wasn't liking any of the writers that they had, that they were, he wasn't connecting with the material that they were pushing on his pilot. And I had a bunch of ideas for it. So I just went home one night and just kind of like pounded out an idea for a script I had. Like, I wrote almost an entire script that night. Oh, and he loved it, and his agent loved it, and Warner Brothers really liked it. So that was like my first official writing job. They brought me on to kind of write that pilot and work on that. And from there, it was, I decided to draw with my words instead of doing the storyboard thing. But I learned so much about boarding, and I think that's what makes me in it, like, has made me good at writing for animation, is I kind of think in storyboards, I think. And so I'm never, when writers will say sometimes, like, let's let the board artist figure it out, I'm kind of like, no, let's give the board artist, something to work with, like something choreographed, and like, if they can plus it or do something better, awesome, but there's always something for them to fall back on. But I think I learned so much board language just subconsciously, because I started before, people were doing it digitally. So when I'd get boards from Genndy or anyone else on the Samurai Jack team, there'd be, like, thumbnails this big, or they draw an 11 by 17, and I'd be at the copy machine, sizing all these panels and just absorbing this shot language.
Wow.
So it was like just an education, and especially like action. It was just kind of an education in boarding and staging, and everything was so cinematic. I don't know. I actually fell into action writing kind of by accident. Like, I've always been more of a comedy guy. It's funny when I got offered the job to work on Samurai Jack, it was between that and another like comedy show. And I won't use the exact quote from Linda, but I was like, I don't know, should I do like the Samurai Jack one, because I'm more of a comedy guy? And she basically used some words to tell me I had a chance to work with Genndy Tartakovsky, and you don't pass that up. So I went on to Samurai Jack, and but actually I kind of just fell in the action writing, and actually like it came pretty naturally. Like, I had fun doing that, and I found that action shows have been, they're generally less challenging for me to write than comedies are. And I love writing comedy. I'm definitely more of a comedy person, but I find it's easier for me to write a cool action scene, and I have to think a lot more to be funny, or at least to the point where I think I'm funny. I don't know if other people think I'm funny, but I definitely have to put more effort in to stage something that's up to my comedy standard.